Beneath the ordinary world lies a veil, and behind it, the voices of the lost still whisper.
We are your guides into the shadows, where true crime meets the paranormal.
From chilling crimes to haunted histories, we uncover the stories that refuse to rest.
This is Veil of Echoes.
It started as a story. Just pixels on a screen. A faceless figure, standing just beyond the trees. Tall. Unnaturally thin. Wrong.
No face, no eyes, no mouth.
Just watching.
And they said if you saw him, it meant he had already been watching you for a long time.
Photos began to surface. Children standing in playgrounds with something tall in the background. Something that didn't belong.
Stories spread. Forums, chat rooms, late nights on glowing screens.
And then, people started to believe.
They said he could control your thoughts.
Cause paranoia.
Make you do things
you normally wouldn't do.
And in 2014,
two 12-year-old girls
walked their best friend into the woods
and stabbed her
19 times.
They said they did it
for Slender Man. This is episode 53.
Slender Man.
The myth that became real. Welcome to Veil of Echoes, where the darkest crimes and the unexplained are told through immersive cinematic storytelling.
We're your host. I'm Lindsay.
I'm Zach.
And I'm Bria. Before we begin, this episode contains disturbing content involving violence and minors. Listener discretion is advised.
If you enjoy immersive true crime and paranormal storytelling, make sure you're following Veil of Echoes on your favorite podcast platform.
Leaving a rating or review helps our stories reach more listeners, and we are truly appreciated your support.
Yes, please leave us a review. You can also follow us on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook for teaser clips, tarot-style episode posts, and behind-the-scenes content. Slender Man wasn't discovered in the woods. He wasn't pulled from ancient folklore or passed down through generations. He was created in 2009 on an internet forum.
A user on Something Awful forums was participating in a Photoshop contest. The challenge was simple. Create an image that looked paranormal, but real.
That user was Eric Knudsen, known online as Victor Surge.
He posted 2 black and white photos. Children playing, ordinary scenes, but in the background, something stood behind them.
A tall figure. Too tall. Limbs stretched unnaturally long. Wearing what looked like a dark suit.
And where a face should have been, there was nothing.
Just empty space.
The images came with captions. Short, vague, but unsettling.
Descriptions of children disappearing, a figure seen just before something went wrong, of something watching.
And that's all it took.
Because the internet didn't just see the images. It believed them.
People began sharing the photos, reposting them, adding their own stories.
Expanding the myth.
New images appeared. More sightings, more details.
The figure became something more, not just a character, but a presence.
Something that could follow you, something that could influence you, and something that might already be watching. So when you look at something online, especially something unsettling like this, how easy is it to separate fiction from something that feels real?
Well, unfortunately for me, I always have it in my head that not everything you see on the internet's real.
Oh, yeah.
Especially with the AI out there.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
But
nowadays.
the adventure in me, I want to believe it's all real
Yeah.
because I would like to have some of the experiences I'd like to have, like none of the demon hauntings and bullshit like that, but I want to see some of the cryptids and be like, oh shit, I saw it, like,
creepy pasta stories are terrifying.
they're so cool though. That's the best part, like that's one
Right.
thing like this came across that blew it up so big.
Oh,
was
yeah.
a creepy pasta
And
style
I didn't
story.
know it was 2009. I thought it was a much older story. I didn't know it surfaced in 2009.
That's why I thought we should do that other suggestion you said and do do an episode over people's original horror stories or
Oh, yeah, that would be
paranormal
fun.
stories,
Yes.
either our own or listeners, just give them a shout out and give them a shot and then read it.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
We need to start doing more stuff like that.
I mean, because the Christmas Carol, that one was fun. I liked it. And
Yeah,
I think
it
we
was
should
fun.
do something more that shows a little more
Should make
character.
our own stories.
Yes. I think we should still write that one simultaneously from like the investigator and the journalist.
Oh, yeah. At first, Slender Man was just an image, a concept, something created for a contest, and meant to end there.
But the internet doesn't let things end. It builds, it spreads.
And in the shadows of forums and message boards, people started adding to the story.
New photos appeared, edited, distorted. Children standing alone, with something tall just behind them, closer than before.
Stories followed. Accounts of sightings, encounters, people claiming they had seen him just outside their window.
Always at a distance, and always watching.
And always getting closer.
Then came video, a YouTube series called Marble Hornets.
It was filmed like found footage, unsteady camera, missing time, gaps in memory.
A man documenting something he couldn't explain. A presence that followed him, watched him, changed him.
Viewers weren't sure what they were watching. A story or something real.
And that uncertainty is what made it dangerous.
Because the more people watched, the more they believed.
The myth evolved. Slender Man wasn't just a figure anymore. He became something with rules, patterns, and behavior.
They said he could cause paranoia, memory loss, nightmares.
And they said prolonged exposure would make you sick, that he could influence your thoughts and control your actions.
Make you do things you wouldn't normally do.
And for most people, it stayed where it belonged. On screens, in stories.
But for some, the line between fiction and reality began to disappear.
And when belief crosses that line,
It stops being a story.
And starts becoming something else.
so when something online feels real, and when enough people believe it, at what point does it stop being fiction?
You know, it kind of brings me back to like children will believe anything because
Yep.
when I was little, I believed the 100% that Bloody Mary was real.
Oh, yeah. Who didn't when they were a kid?
So I'm like, I feel like that's why he was made to stalk children because that's who.
Yep.
Well, believing without seeing is something kind of bred into the
Kind
system.
of like Santa Claus, you know.
That's everything out there just about. Like,
Yeah.
These are all myths. That's why they're called cryptids, because they have theories and ideas, but
Right.
they have very little proof.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's great. I mean, it's creepy to think that somewhere out there you're just walking along and there's some fucking tall, skinny, no-face creature watching.
Yeah.
And the worst part is there's no face, so you can't really tell what he's thinking.
No.
No expression. I don't know when at the point it stops becoming fiction is like, as long as someone believes in it,
Yeah.
it'll always be real. Like, it doesn't have to be a physical anomaly.
Right. Well, just kind of like, if you think about it, all these folklore creatures like the Wendigo,
Oh,
or
yeah,
a vampire,
yeah.
or
Leprechaun.
Bigfoot,
Yeah.
or, like, it's kind of like
Unicorns.
that.
And some of them, I mean, based on the area of the story, changes the creature. A lot of them are very similar to each other, and small things separate them.
Yep.
Like, a lot of them have the same rules, just a different look.
Oh, yeah.
Like vampires. How many different breeds and stories are there of vampires?
Oh, good God.
From this tall to fucking 9 foot tall.
To you show your skin in the sun, you turn to ash, to you sparkle.
Yeah, they have to be invited in, they can do whatever they want,
Yes.
There's just so many depictions of them that I feel the same for Slender Man. Like, he could have been something else. Like, maybe he did have a face, but at the point he was standing in, the shadow was so dark it just looked like a figure in a suit.
Yeah.
Because I'm still in a strong belief that most of this stuff comes from somewhere. It could have been a bad trip, could have been something messing with your head, but I don't think that a lot of these, they didn't just sit down and boom, boom, boom. Like, Slender Man is an original piece, but he's based off of something else.
Yeah. May 31st, 2014. Waukesha, Wisconsin. 3 12-year-old girls. Close friends, classmates.
Morgan Geyser, Anissa Weir, and their friend Peyton Luthner.
The girls had just celebrated Morgan's birthday the night before. A sleepover, movies, the normal.
But behind that normal night, there was already a plan in place.
Morgan and Anissa had been talking about Slender Man for months. Reading stories, watching videos, consuming everything they could find.
They believed he was real. Not as a character, not as fiction.
But as something that existed.
They believed he lived in a mansion deep in the Nicolet National Forest.
And they believed the only way to prove their loyalty to him
Was to kill.
The plan was to lure Peyton into the woods, kill her, and then walk into the forest to find Slender Man.
They believed this would protect their families. Now, if they didn't do it, Slender Man would harm them.
So they're having a little bit of psychosis going on.
Just a little bit.
That morning, the 3 girls walked to a nearby park.
They played hide and seek, laughed, acted normal.
But eventually, they led Peyton into a wooded area.
They told her to lie down.
Then Morgan climbed on top of her and pinned her down.
And began stabbing her.
Once, twice, again.
19 times.
The injuries were severe. Multiple stab wounds to her arms, legs, and torso.
One wound came with millimeters of a major artery. Another narrowly missed her heart.
After the attack, Morgan and Anissa left her there, bleeding alone.
They believed she would die.
But she did it.
Peyton Luthner crawled out of the woods, gravely injured, searching for help.
A passing cyclist found her lying on the side of the road, barely alive.
I hate these bitches.
Mhm.
Like, really? Idiots. She was rushed to the hospital, and against all odds, she survived.
Meanwhile, Morgan and Anissa kept walking.
They were found later that day near Interstate 94, still carrying the weapon. You fucking serious?
Dumb. I told you, they're dumb bitches.
I'm gonna walk down your state with a knife in my hand.
Bloody knife. Idiots.
My God.
When police asked them why they did it, their answer was chilling.
They did it to prove themselves to Slender Man.
So how does something that started as a story online become real enough for someone to kill?
The more attention you put to it,
Oh yeah,
that right there.
exact.
And these girls were already psychotic. Like, I mean,
Yeah,
They had
are.
underlying mental health issues
Definitely.
that really
so I
needed
feel
to be
like, oh, let's use
checked
this
out.
as an excuse.
and there's nothing wrong with loving things and liking to pretend and doing your cosplay, but this is beyond the point of acting something out. You tried to kill someone
Yeah,
to
you
meet
just-
a mystical being, a made-up figure, not even a mystical being, straight just imaginary, created for fun.
Yeah.
And you were gonna murder somebody. Would you kill somebody to meet Elmo? Like,
Oh, I bet you they would.
somebody probably would, but I'm just...
Well, it's kind of
The
like
insanity.
people sacrificing people. Oh, if I sacrifice you, then I'll get this. Or stupid
I know, like,
things. I don't know.
that goes up against most of the beliefs of what you're sacrificing it for.
Yeah.
Insanity.
Like, it's just that and the fact of them walking down the highway with the knife still in their hand. What
Still
the fuck?
carrying it, yeah.
But gotta remember, these are 12-year-old kids.
Yeah.
12-year-old kids that I would have loved to have punched in the fucking mouth.
Right.
Because, like, what the hell is going on in your head that you're like,
And what
oh,
the
you know,
fuck did their parents do to them to fuck them up like that?
that much? They're only 12 years old. Like, you haven't even had a chance to do anything yet. So
Just
what
like
the
those
fuck?
two kids recently that planned to murder somebody and they laughed about it in the back of a cop car.
Oh,
Those two
yeah,
girls?
yeah.
Where the what the fuck did your parents teach you?
And the only thing they are worried about is if they're going to the same jail.
Yeah.
Are you fucking kidding me?
No. And you know what's gonna happen when you go into that jail? You're gonna get your asses fucking handed to you every single fucking day.
I hope so.
Which you deserve.
Yeah,
Right.
because you planned on killing somebody just because. Like, what the why?
Yeah.
What the fuck's the
know.
point? It's like that
Yeah.
one kid, his mom and dad, as soon as they found that severed head and hands, they called the cops. But that dude was just too chill about everything. I'm like, I wanted to hit
Eerily
him.
chill.
I mean, like, a human head and hands.
And he was
What
just-
the fuck, bro?
Was he still 17 or he just
No, he
turned
was
18?
21.
He was 21.
Yeah.
I was about to say, because they talked, I guess that was his college friends, because
Yeah.
they said something about his school friends, and I was like, man, you look pretty young.
He was 21.
Yeah, but that was, I mean,
Fucking psycho
all
piece
killers
of
are
shit.
eerie, but to see it in real time, you're like,
Yeah.
because most of the stuff we go over happened before I was born. Not very
Those
many
are-
things we cover happened in my lifetime.
Those are the killings, though, that bother me the most. Like,
The people that just don't give a fuck, that
Yeah.
admit to it, like,
they just kind of are like, oh yeah, I
Those
did
are the
it.
people you gotta watch out for.
well, yeah, because
Whereas, you know, you
Gacy,
had...
he just act like, oh, that was just normal stuff that I was
Well,
doing.
and like Ed Gein, finally figuring out, you know, the biggest contributor to his problems was schizophrenia. It's like, that's a different story. Back then, you didn't have the
Undiagnosed.
knowledge. You didn't have, you didn't know what mental health was
Right.
back then. There's no
No.
excuse for it nowadays, though. Yeah, but
Like-
nowadays there's way more research into the mental health, and these kids should have had their mental health checked.
Oh,
I'd
yeah.
like to major in psychology.
I did. I didn't do nothing with it.
Well, especially since we're in this
Fortunately.
line, it would help
Yeah.
being able to talk to these guys a little better.
Yeah. When police located Morgan and Anissa, they didn't run, they didn't resist. They were calm.
Almost eerily calm.
During questioning, both girls spoke openly about what they had done.
They explained the plan in detail, how long they had been thinking about it, how they chose the location, and how they decided when to act.
At one point, Morgan told investigators she felt no remorse, that she believed the act was necessary.
She said it was necessary to appease Slender Man.
I want to know what these investigators were thinking.
They're probably like, bitch, you're why am I even fucking talking to you right now? You just need to be in a padded cell somewhere.
One of them had to be there with their mouth open, just...
Right.
Got the drool coming down.
I mean, those are the ones... I mean, it's gonna be hard not to smack somebody.
So in other words, I think was Morgan the
psychopath,
the ringleader of
it
this?
seems like it. She seems like she was pushing for it.
Wasn't she also the one that recently, was it her?
Girls are nothing. That girl survived and everything. She's 23 now.
Yeah. After several years at the Winnebago Mental Health Institute, she was granted a conditional release to a group home in late 2025 before she escaped. That's what it was. She escaped it.
Yeah, she's one of those people that's probably going to be locked up for life because she don't feel remorse, so nothing she says is believable.
She removed her ankle monitoring bracelet the night of November 22nd and fled from the group home. She was... I'm sorry, I saw a picture of her again. She was arrested at a truck stop. She was arrested at a truck stop in a Chicago suburb one day later and was later extradited back to Wisconsin.
Yeah, it was what, only 12 years ago? Ew, was that her again? She looks like the brother from Hannah Montana.
Oh, God.
What's his name? Jason Earl something.
Yeah. Jackson was his name. Or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, she escaped.
She slipped off her ankle monitor. That's a funny sentence. I've heard that so much in my life, though it doesn't faze me.
Yeah.
Like, ankle monitor. I thought that was just a decorative piece.
Anissa, on the other hand, appeared more hesitant, more unsure, but still fully believed the same thing.
Both girls claimed Slender Man was real, that he could read their thoughts, control their minds, and harm their families if they didn't comply.
To them, this wasn't a game. It wasn't pretend.
It was real.
As the case moved forward, psychological evaluations revealed deeper issues.
Morgan Geyser was diagnosed with early onset schizophrenia,
A severe mental illness that can involve hallucinations, delusions, and a distorted sense of reality.
Her father had also been diagnosed with schizophrenia, which increased her risk significantly.
Experts determined Morgan genuinely believed Slender Man existed, and that killing Peyton was necessary.
Anissa was diagnosed with the shared delusional disorder,
A condition where one person adopts the delusions of another.
In this case, Anissa adopted Morgan's belief system, including the existence of Slender Man.
Both girls were initially charged as adults with attempted first-degree intentional homicide.
A charge that carries a maximum sentence of 65 years.
But due to their ages and mental health findings, the cases took a different path.
Anissa Weir accepted a plea deal in 2017. She pled guilty to attempted second-degree intentional homicide as a party to a crime on the grounds of mental illness.
She was sentenced to 25 years in a state mental health institution.
Morgan Geyser pleaded guilty in 2018, but was found not criminally responsible due to mental illness.
That's so wild.
She still has to have consequences, I'm sorry. Like, not just sent away somewhere.
Well, regardless, if they send them to prison or a mental institution, it should be like a lifetime thing.
Yep.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
you did this.
I agree.
Like, if you're that mental where you take it up on killing someone, you don't need to see the outside. Like, you
No.
need to be watched and supervised at all times.
Mm.
She was committed to a psychiatric institution for up to 40 years.
Both sentences focused less on punishment and more on treatment. Which is bullshit! I don't care who you are! I don't care if mental illness plays a part in it at all. You knew you did wrong. You knew you picked up that knife and you stabbed somebody
Well, not only
and you
that,
had the intentions
they
of killing
planned
them.
it.
19 times.
There's an issue.
And there, right there, at 12 years old, they planned it. They decided the location. They decided who.
Yeah,
they
you're
decided when.
Mentally fit enough to do all that.
If they know that much, then there shouldn't be, let's play this mental game.
Right.
Yeah, there's.
agree.
You cannot focus.
You
Treatments
need to be
beyond.
charged
Yeah.
as adults
Yeah.
because you have fucked up.
Especially since neither one of you are showing remorse, and one of you's saying that you only fed off the other one's energy, and you pretty much did it because they were doing it. Like,
Yeah.
no, you still chose to do it.
Right. In the years since, both cases have continued to evolve.
Anisha Weir was granted conditional release in 2021 after being deemed no longer a threat to public.
Morgan Geyser has made multiple attempts for release, but as of recent rulings, remains in a mental health facility.
Good. And through it all, one fact remains unchanged. That was just the baby burping. That's funny. And through it all, one fact remains unchanged. They believed it was real. After the attack, the story of Slender Man didn't disappear.
It spread even further.
News outlets across the country covered the case, not just as a crime, but as something harder to define.
A fictional character linked to real-world violence.
Parents began asking questions about what their children were watching, reading, believing.
Schools issued warnings, online forums were scrutinized.
And for the first time, something born entirely on the internet was being treated like a real-world threat.
The case sparked a larger conversation about digital influence.
About how easily stories can spread and evolve.
And how quickly fiction can begin to feel real.
In the years that followed, Slender Man remained a cultural figure. Books, games, online series.
Even a major studio film, Slender Man, though it faced backlash, especially from the victim's family.
For them, this wasn't fiction. It was something that nearly took a life.
What makes this case unsettling isn't just what happened.
It's why it happened.
Because Slender Man doesn't exist, but belief does.
The human mind is powerful, especially at a young age.
When imagination, fear, and influence all collide.
And when that belief is reinforced again and again through stories, images, and communities,
It stops feeling like fiction.
And starts feeling like truth.
Slender Man was never found in the woods.
He was never proven to exist.
But something did exist.
An idea.
A story.
A belief strong enough to turn imagination
Into something real.
So, do you think stories like this are harmless, or do they carry more power than we realize?
That.
They definitely carry more power.
Especially, well, people like these two teenagers.
Just
taking
like
it to the extreme.
Anything else, it was always created for fun, not for harm. Just like Scream. That movie was created just for a gory horror movie. Entertainment. Well, I wouldn't call it entertainment.
Well, it is, though.
Another thing that was just truly fictionalized that people took took ideas from and made into a real life situation.
Yep.
This is another thing. Born on the internet, got its popularity. These two girls believed it, maybe because of their mental disabilities, but they took it to the advantage there and tried to kill somebody.
Yes.
Luckily, the girl survived, but
Right.
yeah, there shouldn't be an option. It should just be life. I don't care if it's prison or a mental institution. I can't say that one. But they don't
I
deserve to be
agree.
free. They
Definitely.
need supervision because no remorse.
Well,
They
people like
planned it.
that, I mean, they could do it again.
Yep.
Obviously.
And they're still at 20-something years old, still 12 years later, showing no remorse for what they've done.
No.
So it's obvious that they don't care, so why should anybody else? Like, but yeah, it's just disappointing because that was your friend. That's somebody you guys are just hanging out with. She thought you guys were there having a good time, planning on having a good weekend, and
That's awful.
now she probably doesn't trust anybody.
No.
She doesn't go and she probably hasn't hung out with anybody in 12 years.
Well, like the Skylar niece.
Yeah, like how could you
Situation.
trust
Yep.
anybody again? It's hard after that. Like
She lost her life.
two people I thought were my best friends stabbed me 19 times because of a fictional figure they were trying to impress. I'd be pissed too.
Yep.
And that concludes this episode of Veil of Echoes. If you enjoyed tonight's episode, please make sure you're following Veil of Echoes on your favorite podcast platform. Leaving a review or rating helps our stories reach more listeners, and we truly appreciate your support.
You can also follow us on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook for teaser clips, tarot-style episode posts, and behind-the-scenes content. On Monday, we begin a 3-part series on one of the most notorious killers in American history.
A man who didn't look like a monster and who didn't act like one.
Charming, educated, trusted.
He approached his victims in broad daylight, spoke calmly, gained their trust before they ever realized the danger.
College campuses, parking lots, quiet neighborhoods.
And then they were gone.
For years, he moved undetected.
Leaving behind a trail of disappearances that no one could connect.
Until it was too late.
Because behind the charm
Behind the smile
Was Ted Bundy. Until next time, keep your ears open.
and the veil closed.